Hey y'all, it's Tiffany, Xpresslifetifa, back for episode number 4? Is that even right? Yeah, it's 4. But it's April 12th, 2018. I just wanted to start by saying some thank yous. Um, Thank you, Dawne at Frosty X Stitch, for shouting me out. It was really sweet. Again, I just love her. I love talking to her and listening to her videos because she's from Switzerland and she has an accent and it's cool. My ex had an accent like a Scottish one and it was the best part of listening to I also wanted to thank Michelle Bendy Stitchy for shouting me out as her first of her lineup of newbies that she's been watching. I was really honored because she was one of the people that inspired me to create a Flosstube, and I was just like, you know, fangirling out, like, oh god. I also wanted to shout out a designer that I've been watching for some time, Lindy Stitches. Her name is Stephanie at Lindy Stitches. She has a Flosstube as well as an Etsy, which I just purchased a design by her called I Love. I'm pretty sure it's called I Love You More Than Yesterday, and then underneath it says, "Yesterday you got on my nerves," which is so true. My boyfriend, he'd appreciate that. It kind of works both ways. I mean, I get on his nerves, he gets on mine. It works both ways. I also wanted to talk about Long Dog Stitcher. She did a Stitch With Me video, and it was really entertaining, these questions that she had. And I just wanted to talk about speech communications is her major, or was her major in college. And I told her I failed speech twice and a nonverbals communication class too. And I thought that I wouldn't be able to even graduate college because I needed that class. And later on, I found out that D plus is passing. So not in my world, but in it filled a requirement. So thank God it was passing because I actually remember a couple speeches that I had to do, and one of them I explained to the class how to draw somebody's face. So I had this like paper and I was showing how to draw a face like as a teacher, and oh my gosh, it was horrible. It probably was really bad for them to watch. My first class I took for speech, it was in a classroom, and the second one was just like videotaping yourself and you know your other classmates would watch it. So I was way more comfortable with the second one, but I had to withdraw because they didn't accept iMovie or something, and I had a MacBook, so it didn't work. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit because Vonna and Yvonne talked about mistakes in their videos this week, and I could make a book on how many different ways to screw up at machine embroidery. I could, because there are so many different ways to screw that up. It's when I was learning from like 3 years ago when I started doing machine embroidery for work. Oh my gosh. There's so many things. You don't want to sew the fabric closed, like the front to the back. Definitely done that. You don't want to hit the hoop to the frame. Done that 3 times. There's so many different ways. It's unreal. I mean, you could put the wrong color on a shirt. You could, I don't want to get too far into it because it'd give me nightmare flashes. But, but I really liked watching their video on how mistakes create a new invention, and that you grow from your mistakes, and that's really important. You do grow from your mistakes, and I've grown from mine, and in life and at work, everything, every mistake I've ever made, it moved me forward. And if you're on the fence of making a floss tube, you really should, because we're just average, normal people videotaping ourselves and our craft, and don't be afraid. I was afraid. I'm still afraid. Actually, I was kind of afraid right now, like making this one right now. But, yeah, you should do it. I'm gonna start with finishes, and the first one I have is Lizzie Kate, Gratitude, the one I showed you in the last video. I don't have the picture of what it was before, but it's done. Ta-da! So gratitude turns what we have into enough. And I think I used all the call for colors, but it was weeks dye works instead of the GAST that it calls for, which I'm not actually sure if that's supposed to be, like, GAST stands for Gentle Arts Sampler Threads. I could be wrong, but, like, I don't know what GAST is, so I'm still kind of new to this, and I'm still learning. I'm always learning every day. The second finish I have is for Cindy, and Cindy, if you're watching, skip 5 minutes ahead and no peeking, because I'm going to be sending this to you after I put a couple finishing touches on it. So it's a pillow finish. Cindy, no cheating. It's so cute. I mean, this is my hand, and this is the pillow. It's so teeny tiny. So it says, enjoy the little things. And I talked about this in my last video, that it's a freebie chart that I changed from daisies to sunflowers. And I changed the colors to be more sunflower-like, and I also changed the pattern because originally it didn't have the vininess of this, as well as the little tiny leaves, because that's the most important part of the sunflower, the little leaves, as well as the flower, obviously. But yep, I don't know if I showed the backing fabric, but I just found this at Joann's in the remnants, and I was like, oh, perfect, it's gonna work. Alright, what do I have next on the docket? Oh, also with the Gratitude, I really loved the grapevine weeks dye work. That color looks exactly like the grapevines that grow in my backyard. Like, it really does, and I love that color. And I also heard from Tiffany on Tiffin Stitches that Lizzie Kate uses a lot of grapevine, and I just did one. Yes, she uses grapevine, but I was like, oh yeah, that's so true. So I have a funny story with the threads. There's this color in here that's green, and I took a picture with this, and there were supposed to be 8 threads, and my picture only had 7, and I was like, where did the 8th thread go? I couldn't find it anywhere, so I went to the store and I told them, I can't find the thread. I don't know if it just didn't end up in my bag or what. And she just gave it to me. And my LNS is the Rocking Horse in downtown Farmington. And she was like, you come in here a lot, you can have it. And I'm so grateful because I was like, I can't find it. Come to find out, I come home, I look in my hamper, which is right there. It was literally right on top of the hamper, inside, like the direct top. And I was just like, how the heck did it get in there? And I feel so bad because now I'm like, oh my gosh, I told her the story, but like it was really true. And I feel bad. But I'm definitely bringing it back, and like, you can have it back. I found the other one, you know. I haven't yet, but I will Saturday. So, yeah, funny story. Lost it, then found it, then felt terrible. Oh, okay. So the next thing I wanted to talk about was my whips, and the first one is the Quaker that I showed you last time. And so far, I haven't done that much on it just because I was working on the smaller projects. And when I come home, I'm getting really tired. So that's why I didn't make a video yesterday. Sorry, guys. But I have A through Z now. And I did do like a small portion of the Quaker motifs in the front. And this part right here is like a light blue. And I'm thinking of taking it out because I don't like the way that it's looking right now. I'm trying to go for bright colors. Actually, with this, I don't know what color is going on it besides that I am literally choosing whatever my favorite colors are and picking it into the motif. I want to do threads that are my favorite and have it just on something because there may never be a chart that has all of my favorites on it. So I'm just going to pick favorites and put it into the Quaker. And it'll just be my favorite sampler. We'll just call it that. And then the next whip I have is the Cherry Blossom. So I showed you that this last time, the chart, that is birds and a fan. Oops, that's the other. Can you see it? So it's coming along. I've done one corner of the Biscornu, because it's basically this motif repeated like another 3 times in each corner. And then there's another motif that goes on the back. And my coworker was wondering, like, oh, is it an octagon shape? Because she looked at the picture, and I was like, no, when you make a Biscornu, you have the front, and then to create the shape, you are gonna sew like halfway in between, and then it starts to grow a shape like the octagon that she was seeing. So I told her about that because otherwise, if you did like corner to corner, it would just be a pillow, like it would just be a square shape. But because you do it like halfway, you start halfway between and keep sewing all the way around, it creates the Biscornu shape. I also, in my first video, said I might get on this whole project bag making thing, and thank you, Toni Walker, for, I think her name is Whisper Stitcher. I hope I'm right about that. I'll put all the links in the description so that you can find it. I tried to do that for my last video, and then also like the patterns, put the links to like purchase them and stuff as well. But she told me about Calico's project bags tutorial, and I went over there and started making project bags. So I don't have 5, okay? I don't have 5. I said that I was maybe gonna have 5 next time I saw you. Well, I made 3. So I was able to hold off with making 5. But here is my first one. It's this purple fabric, and then inside is kind of like a blue navy thing. You can't really see the inside because I've been using it. I have threads in here, which graciously came from Heather Moore. I got a stitchy gift. I got a stitchy gift, and oh my gosh, I love them. I love threads. Okay, I'm crazy. You guys know this, right? You know I'm crazy. So this is my project bag. It's purple, and it has little leaves that are silver, and they're shiny. And inside is like this, I told you, the blue nautical themed. It's like a world map. I got it in the Joann's Remnants. So this is my second one. And each one of them has a zipper and just different coordinating fabrics. So the back it's just beige, and it has like white vines on it. But I use this backing fabric. I use this fabric to back my piece that I sent to Chelsea that she loved. I got so excited at them watching, or them like gushing over it, that yeah, I rewatched that video 3 times. I just, it warms my heart. It really does. And so I made 3 and only have 2 to show, because the third one I sent to Heather Moore as a thank you for thinking of me, because it was, well, I don't really like talking about life updates personally, just because that's real personal. But I will say that I was going through a rough time, because I've decided not to talk to my dad anymore, because he says some very hurtful things. And that day, when I was really upset, she sent me a message asking for my address, and it kind of just, it really made me feel better, because I'm struggling a lot with him, and I don't want to get into it too much, but thank you, Heather. And that's why I made some gifts for you too in return, because I'm just so grateful to the Flosstube community for giving me the love that giving me so much love. I'm really grateful. Thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Okay. I'm gonna cry. So the next couple things are haul that I got from the thrift store, which I don't know, I don't really have plans for these, but I got 7 vintage cross-stitch magazines, all between 1986 and 1990. This one, I was trying to find the lady that was looking for a mother sampler on Stitch Mania, but I couldn't find the original post, and I was gonna be like, this one is one. If you want to stitch it, like, I'll send it to you. But there's that one that has like blue and white, which I love. And like, look at these ideas. I mean, you put a sampler underneath a clock. I love it. What? Awesome. And then my friend said she actually had this one and kept it for the Santa. It's pretty cool. I really like how they photograph these, where they have like little items together. This one's a nativity set, and you embroidered the dress that she's wearing, that Mary's wearing. This one I liked the colors because it's like fall colors, and they have all these different ideas. I mean, there's an apron, there's maybe one of those things that you use it on a fire to like blow out the air, or you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about. This one is actually my birth month and year. So it's September, October, cross stitch and country crafts, 1990. The funniest thing about this, well, not funny, but coincidence, is the first girl that I started watching on Flosstube, Courtney, ECR, her mom has stitched this. There's an episode where she's talking to her mom about things that she stitched, and she stitched this exact piece. This was, I think she said this was her first one, her mom's first one. And I was like, it was a baby. Like, this was when I was born. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, when I was at the thrift store, I was like, oh my God, I've seen this chart. I've seen it in person. Well, not in person, on Flosstube. And I really love this one. It's a cat, and this is all stitched, like all of this floral stuff around like the head and around like the body. And the pattern is like super confusing. Holy crap. I mean, I can't figure out how you would lay out the pattern onto the pieces and then cut them out, and like how would you know which part to stitch? Because it's not, the pattern is all just one picture of floral print, and then it gives you the pieces. Oh gosh, it's all sorts of confusing, but I wish I could figure it out, because I think this is so cute, and only I could stitch even, I'm sorry, that was loud. If only I could stitch like all night and all day. Because I would, because I need to finish like everything that I want to. So the last thing that I wanted to talk about is a couple fabrics I got today at Joann's. I'll just go through three of them. This one, it's like a purple and pink and gold. Isn't beautiful? It's gorgeous. And this one is like poppies and purple, and they're tiny little flowers. They're so cute. I don't know what I'm gonna do with any of these. I'll make a project bag now that I've made 3. I gotta get the fifth one, don't I? And then there's this one. There's like a little upside down because there's a peacock, and it's like teal. Ah, these fabrics are so beautiful. I love them. And they're gonna, if I don't make a project bag out of them, I'm gonna make a quilt for myself. And that's why I bought a bunch of fat quarters in the colors that I like. Teals, purples, blues. Because I have not made a quilt specifically for my tastes. I made practice quilts, and I made one to donate, but I haven't made a single one for me. So that's the plan, I think. All right, so the last thing I have, I just reached just over 103 subscribers, or 100 subscribers. Last time I looked, it was like 103. I actually took a picture of it at 100, and I was like, oh my God, I got 100 subscribers. I understand how you guys feel with like the excitement of just meeting a mile mark. So I wanted to do a giveaway, and the usual sort of rules. You got to be 18 years old or have permissions from your parents to give out your address. Also, don't say giveaway in the comments or I'll delete it. And the giveaway is going to be for my mug rug I showed in my first video. So this is 2 little teacups that reminded me of porcelain china. And it's also kind of makes me think of Alice in Wonderland, just because tea time. But everybody on Flosstube's always drinking something, which I don't have anything today. But I found out that these mug rugs fit perfectly into the project bags. So I wasn't able to show you what I made for Heather, but I made Heather a cactus print mug rug with a matching. Oh, I made Heather a cactus print project bag with a matching mug rug, and I didn't know. It wasn't planned. Like, this wasn't pre-planned. It was just a happy accident. So, what I want you guys to say in the comments, I had a question. I really did. Oh, I wanted to know if you could have a project bag of your own choosing, what theme would you want? And I'm going to put people into a drawing for the ones that tell me what theme that they want. Because you'll get this, and I'm planning on making a project bag with your theme choice. So this you'll get right away. I don't know if I might send the project bag later just because it's going to take me some time to make. But also part of the rules, I haven't sent anything internationally before, but because my friend Dawne Frosty Xstitch is from Switzerland, I don't want to exclude her, even though she's international. So you can be international. You don't have to just live in the U.S. And I will ship internationally because I want her to have a chance to win because she mentioned this one in her thing, and I sort of just wanted to send it to her, but I would really like to open it up to everyone, and we're gonna have fun. So if you would like this, it's teacups on the front and little checkered print pattern on the back, and I'm not sure the dimensions, but it fits like a little cup here and then a little like dish for your snack or whatever. Alright, so yeah, leave a comment below on what kind of theme of project bag you would like, and I don't know where my notes went. I will just end with thank you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for everything. I love you guys. And just have a great day. Stitch every chance you can. I know I will. Because I woke up with thread in my hair this morning. I just have so much fun stitching. You should too. And I know most of you guys do. That's why you're watching. I'm sorry. I'm going to say bye now. Bye.